We are live! West Coast Sports Junkies from our studios in New Westminster, South Surrey, and Burnaby from beautiful British Columbia. Don't forget to subscribe to our show on podcasting platforms such as Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Be sure to also follow us on Twitter at West Coast Sport 9. If you have any suggestions, questions, or just want to get into it with us, Ty, Mike, and myself are always here to interact. Reach out to us by email at westcoastsportsjunkies@gmail.com. We are also now on Instagram at west_coast_sports_junkies. Follow us there. West Coast style. Ready to talk sports, beer, and everything between. Here we go!
So you fucking know.
Are you doing your turkey call?
That's pretty good.
You like my turkey call?
All right, we are live. It is April 21st, 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. Beautiful day again in the Lower Mainland. Excellent show for you tonight. We've got a couple of things to get into. We've got the Canucks update. Wow, what a week. What a week it's been for the return to play. We've got the UFC 261. Michael Peter will get into that. The Super League, which was a thing up until today. We will definitely talk about that. And we have Dirty Time with Dirty Talkin' Dan. So our new format with the beer, I think it's working out well. I think we're all enjoying the same beers again tonight. And seeing how Mr. Ty Shields picked up the beer this week, Ty, you want to bring us into the beer intro? And which one are we doing first here?
Yeah, let's do it. How's it going, guys? Good to see ya. So I stopped by Studio Brewing in South Burnaby on the way home from work the other day. It's an awesome little place. They had a great patio. They had a food truck outside. It was set up well with the social distancing and everything. And yeah, sticking with our supporting local, especially during these tough COVID times right now. Yeah, I went in, great little setup, big selection. As you guys know, I'm a lager guy. So the first one we're going to be trying tonight is the Rookie Card Vienna Lager. Now, it's got a little description here, which says Rookie Card is a Vienna lager that undergoes a double decoction using European malts and is lightly hopped with Saaz hops.
A double decoction right in your mouth. Awesome.
All right, let's give it a go.
Let's crack these and give it a shot.
Here's the definition of decoction. The liquor resulting from concentrating the essence of a substance by heating or boiling, especially a medicinal preparation made from a plant.
That's good.
Did you actually sit down at their patio and have a beer, or did you just go in and out?
No, I just went in and out. It was actually really busy. I don't even think there was a spot for me if I wanted to. But no, I just stopped in to pick these up for us for the podcast.
Yeah, the weather's been amazing, hey? To sit out on a patio.
Oh, it's been real good. That day at East Van Brewing has been the highlight of my last 2 weeks. It was so nice. Ty, where is this brewery located?
It's on Beresford, kind of just down from the Royal Oak SkyTrain station towards Skilly, I guess. Kind of in that little industrial area. A lot of
yeah. A lot of mechanic shops in the neighborhood.
Mechanic shops and everything. Yeah, exactly. And it's only 2 months old.
Oh, is that right?
It's brand new. So yeah,
cool. I'll have to check it out. All our viewers, please support them.
Yeah, fresh beer. Vienna Lager, 5.5%
sure. I like
alcohol.
this. This is good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, it's good. I thoroughly enjoy this. This is great.
Did you guys get up to much this last week?
Not a whole lot. I actually got out on the golf course on the weekend with you, Mike.
Yeah,
And-
sweet invite, guys. Thanks.
And then this guy had the round of his lifetime, and we
Yeah.
were like fighting the sunlight. It was almost like we were gonna not be able to finish, and he was 2 over par, going into the last 4 or 5 holes, kind of thing.
I was on pace for my best ever round. I still finished with a 78, which is one of my best rounds ever.
That's just stupid.
I was fighting it on the back nine. I put one in the water on a short par 3. It was actually a really cool looking hole. It reminded me of, surprisingly, it was Guildford Golf Club in Surrey, but what was it, 16, Mike? It actually had the look of a hole at Augusta with the bridge.
Yeah, 15
and the rock
Augusta.
setup.
Yeah.
No, it was actually it was pretty cool. It was packed, and like Mike said, we were fighting the daylight, and I was really trying to get in that 18th hole because I knew it would be potentially a record round for myself.
It was a slow go. I think we teed off at like 3:30, and we didn't finish till after 9 o'clock. Like it was.
Yeah, that was one of the longest rounds I've ever played.
You know, it's weird since COVID and golfing and stuff. I haven't had that issue with weights on tee times because they've been spreading out the tee times like a lot, right? And
yeah, no, exactly.
But yeah, that was a slow go, man. But it was still fun. I'd rather be on the golf course than do nothing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
we actually had a chance to try a few different drinks out there. I was actually going to bring one on the podcast tonight, but I think Chris is happy I didn't.
He had this Crown Royal and cola in a can.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's brand new, and I'm a big Crown and Coke fan, as you guys have heard and you guys know, Mike and Chris. But it's a nice option for the golf course.
Why can't we think of these things, guys? Rum and Coke in a can. Let's do it. Like, come on.
Well, I'm pretty sure Captains and Bacardi is. Well, I think they have them in the States. I know they have like the Jack and Coke and stuff like that in the States. But yeah,
that's the first time now you can get wine in a glass kind of thing. You buy it like in a store.
Yeah, like a
what?
Plastic, yeah, like a plastic.
They have a plastic peel. You peel it off and you just drink
those guys were on. Those guys were on Shark Tank a while ago.
Really?
Or one of the big companies of the plastic wine.
You know what I actually enjoy is the Caesar in a can. Have you ever had that?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, I have. Those green cans, right? The Tullies and those ones?
Yeah, I think they're green and red, yeah. And then the like in the States, I saw at a 7-Eleven once, they have a Bloody Mary in a can.
Yeah.
But, you know, here.
I love how you can just buy beer at like a gas station in the States.
Yeah.
To us, it's like so foreign, but.
It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but it's like that in every other country in the world.
Yeah,
it's really convenient.
Mm-hmm. But anyways, let's start talking about some Canucks, man. What was that?
What was that? Well, that was 2 victories against the division leading Toronto Center of the Universe Maple Leafs, right?
Unbelievable.
Very impressive.
Very impressive. I know Ty's a big supporter of Ontario beer when he brought the
the
Sleemans on.
Honey Brown.
But we're, Mike and I are more local here. We like more of our, local taste. Wow. What a couple of games. That first game, I watched that in amazement. I was actually, at the time, it was like dinner time because it's an early game because it's Toronto, right? So center of the universe, you have to
everything's done to cater to them.
Cater to them. So I'm barbecuing and I'm watching at the same time, right? And I'm doing a nice charcoal barbecue with some, some chicken and stuff, and it was really good. But I'm watching and I can't believe what I see. I can't believe, first of all, when they tied it up, I was like, wow, this is crazy. Going into overtime, blah, blah, blah. Going into overtime, Horvat comes in, nice shot, boom, in the net. I screamed. My spatula fucking went flying. So it was like, I was like, oh, I couldn't believe that happened. Then yesterday, wow, another one. Another good game.
And how about Holtby, though, hey?
That first game, that save that he made when he was on his back and he kicked the puck out of the net, it was going in.
But yeah, he's been solid both games. Sunday, I didn't get to see it. I watched the highlights because we were golfing. But you were filling us in about it, and I watched the highlights, and yeah, that was a really big win. It was good to see after all the drama, all the COVID stuff.
Yeah,
it was nice to see, and what a resilient group.
Well, you know what? I was actually, that Edler thing, I think that was, fatigue might have had something to do with it. just coming back to the bench. I don't think it was. I mean, I don't know. People are saying, "Oh, he's a repeat offender because of what he did in the World Cup or whatever."
But he's not that type of player.
No, I don't think so either.
He screwed up.
I agree with you
He's
100%.
paying the price.
It was fatigue. It was the end of a long shift. And just after being off for like 3 weeks because of COVID and all that stuff, it happens in hockey. And I heard a lot of analysts talk about that even before going into the game, that this could happen. People can get hurt.
Yeah, I didn't see it as being like I don't know. He's not that. I mean, what has he done in his season, in his career? Sorry. Okay, he cross-checked Mike Smith, which is a goalie, behind the net once. He got suspended for that. He got suspended in the World Cup for the.
Yeah, but like you said, he's had a long career, and he's not that guy. He's not that type of player.
No, I don't think so either. But no, that was game one of the doubleheader. Game two, again, that was a more convincing win. Riddick, the goalie there from Calgary. Well, he was in Calgary last year, I think. Riddick looked like he got.
He was in Calgary, this year. He was.
Was it this year?
Yeah, they traded for him. Trying to get some depth because of Frederick Anderson's injury.
Yeah, that's right. He looked like he was just like at the post game conference or press conference there. He just looked like he got hit by a ton of bricks. Like, I felt bad for him, actually. He was like, he's like, it's my fault, with his accent or whatever. But it was, to me, it was a good couple of games. It was a couple of games against the Leafs, who, like I said, they're the North leading team,
and they had just stacked up to make a run for the Cup.
They did.
The best team in Canada.
Well, yeah, and speaking of that, it's funny because they were applauding the trade for David Rittich, and hasn't panned out so far. I know it's a small sample size for him with the Leafs, but I think he's 0-2, I believe. Maybe they traded for the wrong goalie. Like Miller was sitting there.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. If this Leafs team chokes again, I think Kyle Dubas has got a big issue. I think he might lose his job. I think he'll be fired before Benning does if they don't make a splash in the playoffs here.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. They loaded up, and this is probably their best chance in the North Division. They'll be playing Canadian teams, obviously, in the first round. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, this is their year. If there's going to be a year, you would think this has to be it.
Well, so post the COVID thing, so due to the COVID thing, all the games, Canucks had so many games in hand at that point before the COVID thing. Now the COVID thing happened, and now the Canucks have 4 games in hand on Montreal, and Montreal is looking like shit. And Vancouver's heating up. So a lot of poll questions around town today were
playoffs.
Did you say playoffs?
How do you feel about it, Ty? How do you feel about it if we go for a playoff run now?
Well, now I'd be fine with it because we didn't do anything at the deadline. You know what I mean? What I was really worried about is we were going to try to, obviously COVID changed all that, right? But I was, Govik and I were saying we were worried they were going to make some stupid moves and be buyers. Trade away some assets for some rental players, that type of thing. So, I mean, we talked about the trade deadline last week, and I think we did all right. We made some decent moves. We got a couple of draft picks, a prospect, and now if we go on a run, that's gravy. Let's do it. It's crazy.
If we play like we did yesterday, I mean, we were clearly the better team against the best team, arguably in the league. Mm-hmm. And where was this team all year long, man?
Right?
Where was this play?
You saw flashes of this team. You saw flashes of the last 2 games throughout the season. I think at least I did. I mean, I'm a pretty optimistic person, so I always like to home in on the positives, other than the last couple of weeks on the podcast where I was super negative against them. But typically I'm a positive guy, and you know what? I think now we'll see what happens against Ottawa. We got 4 games against Ottawa, is that right? That's
right, but they have been playing a lot better. It's not like it was looking early in the season where you see that slate of games and you're like, okay, that's going to be 4 easy wins, right? I think Ottawa's, and they have a chance to play spoiler too, right?
Yeah, I mean, okay, so they're not okay. No, that's not what I'm saying. Like, that they're going to be. They're
but
pushover.
It's definitely a winnable.
They're winnable. They're winnable games, especially now that we've seen what they can do against Toronto. So
for sure.
if they beat Ottawa 4 in a row. Where does that put us on the points? Like, where does that put us? That must put us close to Montreal again.
So listen to this. We are 8 points back of Montreal currently. This is before tonight's games. And we have 4 games in hand. So we win those games. We are technically tied with them for the last playoff spot, which even 3 weeks ago was not even it was a pipe dream. I did not think that was even close to being a reality for us.
Do you have any idea what the odds are today of the Canucks making the playoffs? I remember after the first game against the Leafs, we jumped up to like 16% chance of making the playoffs, and then we won.
Definitely
second game.
Improved, and we won the second game, and Montreal's been losing.
Yeah,
so it's a perfect storm right now. They haven't been playing their best hockey. Carey Price is actually injured. I'm not sure how long he's out. They do have a good backup goalie in Jake Allen. He's been around for a long time, and they still have a good team. But I mean, it's definitely made it a lot more interesting for us Canuck fans, and makes these games a little more interesting down the stretch.
Yeah, absolutely. It was funny. Like last week, this time, all we were talking about, all the media was talking about was, COVID. Canucks have COVID. They're going to be forced to play on Friday. And we had JT Miller come out and saying, I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel like I'm game ready. And that's how we felt like all the players would feel. And then we had like the sense that ownership and management was pushing them to get out there and play the game. Yeah. They canceled the game on Friday, postponed it to Sunday. And they come out and they win the game. It was a close game, but you just got to think like the Canucks management and like ownership has to just thank the players, for coming out and doing that.
Thank the players, the and especially
they no
JT
longer
Miller.
they don't have to worry about being bombarded by media and all the questions, right?
And JT Miller, like, what happens if he doesn't do that?
Yeah.
And what if they're just quiet and
they play Friday?
Mad internally, they got to play. They would have had to play Friday, Saturday, I believe, back to back.
So Ty,
only one practice.
What's our Aquaman report? What's he saying?
I saw one tweet about how proud he is of the group. Typical Aquaman stuff, all positive, obviously, which is it's true. like I was saying, what a resilient bunch battling COVID. Some of them had it pretty bad. Some of their families still have it. And to come out after 1 or 2 practices after being off the ice for almost 3 weeks, like you said, playing the division leader and winning 2 huge hockey games, and now putting us back in the mix.
So Mike, what's the hashtag? Save Benning's job, or I love Benning.
I personally think this is my own theory. I don't think we're going to be. I think that Benning's going to be gone, and I think that Green's going to be gone because the team can play this well. Where was this all year? Why haven't you gotten them to this level all year? And now they come out. And his contract expires. They haven't renewed it. I think they're just gonna let it expire. That's my.
I think that's a huge mistake. I think Green is.
Travis Green has done a phenomenal job with this team.
Absolutely.
And you guys got to remember, we've been out without our best player for a couple months now.
Elias Pettersson.
Any update on that, by the way? On him?
His agent was on Donnie and Dolly, and obviously he didn't say a lot, but he said that he's getting a second opinion. And I think the state of the team, they weren't in any hurry to rush him back.
But make a run. He's gonna.
But now, his main interest, I'm sure they will. Trainers are looking at him, doctors are looking at him. They're exhausting everything trying to figure out what's wrong with him. But yeah, you know how NHL coaches and GMs are. They're very quiet about the exact injury. They don't want to give anything away. If he comes back, they don't want the other team to know where to
target that injury. Yeah. So what's the hashtag fire Benning front like, Ty? What's going on there? I heard there was
there's some big things happening with that, actually. So a group of Canuck fans have hired a plane to fly the Fire Benning banner around downtown Vancouver tonight, actually. Unbelievable. You got to give it to Canuck fans. We're pretty interesting and entertaining.
I think I see it out my window right now.
Really?
And no, it wasn't Chris and I behind the banner. If you guys are wondering.
I do got to say one thing, though. On the last episode, I made a comment about those cutouts the fan cutouts that you pay $130 or whatever, and you get put into the stands. When I was watching the game last night, they had an advertisement for that, and it's all proceeds of this are going to Canuck Place Foundation.
Oh, well, that's good.
I'm totally
good
for.
stuff.
So now I actually just went online before this episode and bought a cutout because I felt like I deserved it.
Are they going to put 3 of your heads on the one head there to make it fit properly, or what are they going to do?
I might just buy one for all of us.
Did you put your head on there?
Yeah, I uploaded a photo.
Oh, dude, you should have uploaded the
That's
West Coast
awesome.
Sports Junkies logo and just put it on the head.
I got my hat on. We got some new swag we're supporting. We got West Coast Sport Junkie hats. I want to give a shout out to Ella Gray for creating these for us. Thank you very much.
Yeah, they're awesome. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, I'm wearing my T-shirt right now. I'm wearing my hat. I'm wearing my West Coast Sports Junkies underwear. It's all good, man.
But with the Canucks, the thing I was most impressed with, or the players I was most impressed with, was Hoglander, Horvat, Holtby, and Hughes. Would you guys like to add anybody to that list?
Hoglander is my new favorite, I think.
But the first game, he had an amazing game there.
No, I agree. That's a great list. But
that is a good
but
list.
The team in general, and I think you got to give a lot of credit to like Miller, not necessarily from his play on the ice, but like we talked about, getting them those extra days.
Yeah, and Besser. Don't forget about Besser.
Pushed. Yeah,
yeah, Besser had a good game.
Besser was all over the ice.
I almost felt like Horvat didn't even have COVID or anything. He just sat in his room and trained the entire time. He came out flying in both games.
Yeah, and that's another guy, like his leadership, right? Getting the team ready, drowning out all the noise and just focusing and yeah, two big wins, especially like led them that first.
Yeah, you got to give it to him. He's a relatively young captain too. So
yeah, I think we made the right choice.
Yeah, I agree with him.
I think that was a very calculated decision, and I think the Sedins had something to say about that, and they went around the room and looked and saw who the guy was, and I think that they had a lot of say in that.
Yeah, I was at that game where he was announced as captain. They had all the former captains come out. It was really cool.
Yeah, right. A
couple years ago, yeah.
Did you guys see this news about Patrick Marleau passing Gordie Howe?
Yeah, wow.
With the most games ever played in the NHL. That I was surprised. Like that snuck up on us, I feel like. Don't you? Gordie Howe was 50.
Big time. Totally agree.
He was 52.
Yeah, 50. That's insane.
I feel like Marleau has been around for a long time, but I mean, with injuries and
not that long.
Well, you know what they say? You know what the stat is on Marleau? I heard this on the radio when I was driving home the other day. He has played against 37% of all-time NHL players ever.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
That is crazy. I saw another thing that his first game against the Canucks, we had Mark Messier on our roster.
Oh, what a fucking terrible era that was. Oh my God.
But that shows you how long he's been around, right?
Yeah, totally.
Can I okay, since you brought that up, can I say something about the Messier era? Darkest, ugliest era of Canuck history. Would you guys agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what's funny? People in Edmonton, when I lived there, and they're like, oh, Canucks, blah, blah, blah. And I'd talk about the Canucks, and I'd say how good and awesome of a team we had. And he's like, yeah, you guys only had it good when you had Messier because he's from here and blah. I was like, are you kidding me?
Because of Messier in there.
Yeah, because it's Messier. Yeah.
I get that. Okay, let me ask you a question quick. Do you want to keep going? Well, Messier?
Yeah, let's go about Messier. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna ask you a question about Marleau.
Yeah, go for it.
Go ahead about
Is he going to be in the Hall of Fame?
Oof. Probably. He probably will, but I don't agree with it.
Yeah, I don't know if he has the career like obviously other games played, like the stats and the accolades. Obviously, no cups, but I mean to have the all-time record for games played in the National Hockey League, you gotta give him serious consideration. And it wouldn't surprise me if he ends up in there.
I think for sure he's going to be in there. Like, just think about it. You have to have your body in top physical shape for how many years? and your skill set for how many years to play at the top level, it's insane without getting cut and all that stuff. So I think he's going to be in there absolutely 100%. Did you see what's the commissioner's name?
Gary Bettman.
Gary Bettman.
Bettman's little speech.
I did not.
Okay. Well, from hearing his speech and what he was saying about him, I think it's inevitable.
Actually, I didn't see the video. I think I read a little bit about it, but yeah,
it's going to be inevitable. At the beginning, when I was first asked the question, do you think he's going to get in the Hall of Fame? I said no. Who the hell's Marleau? Like, yeah, he gets some goals. He doesn't have the stats to be in the Hall of Fame, but this is a stat that is pretty insane, and it was a record that was like, thought to be unbreakable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he broke, just on that record alone. Yes, he probably will be in the Hall of Fame. Does he deserve it to be in the Hall of Fame because of, his
Stats?
his winning record? I don't think so, but because of that one stat, sure. I mean, there's other guys with way less stats than him and have made it into the Hall of Fame. All right. Well, since we had a great discussion there about the Nucks, I still don't know about Marleau. But anyways, I finished my first beer, so I think it's time to go into beer number 2. I think the next one is American Pale Ale. Ty, you want to elaborate?
Yeah, let's do it. So the next beer here is these are cool looking cans. We're going to be posting a picture of them on our Instagram page.
Well, we already did
for you guys to see. Yeah, but like an up close one.
Okay.
But anyways, so each one kind of has a little write-up description, which a lot of them do. But for the Rolodex American Pale Ale we're trying. So who says office work is boring? A whole lot more fun than cold calling. Flip through this ever-rotating flavor catalog with us as we explore the world of hops, one variety at a time. Let's give this a shot.
All right.
Again, thanks for grabbing these, bud.
Yeah.
No worries.
All right, let's do a taste test.
Wow.
Ooh.
That is sweet
Tastes
and
like-
fruity.
Tastes like a pale ale.
Is that a Palm Bay?
No, it's not that fruity. It's pretty hoppy.
It's a hoppy.
Yeah,
I like
this
that.
might be a little too hoppy for me, but
Yeah,
It's a
the
good flavor.
lagers I can sip all day. This will be like, 1 or 2 kind of thing.
Ooh.
Good for like having a conversation like we're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's actually not like that's good, but it's not like I thought it would taste.
I call that's a muchacho beer.
Is that a muchacho beer like Burnaby Brewing Co?
Yeah.
All right, muchacho, if you're listening, the Rolodex from Studio Brewing.
He's one of our biggest
her out.
fans.
He is one of our biggest fans.
They slayed the dragon! It's a wonderful day for an exorcism. Mario Mandzukic pounced, and England are hurt! Touchdown Seahawks!
Mike, what do you say about the UFC update this week?
Well, there's lots to talk about this week in the UFC. We have a huge card going down this Saturday, April 24th in Jacksonville, Florida. This is the first UFC since COVID that they're having fans at. It's sold out in seconds. So everyone's going to be watching to see how that goes. And it's going to start off. So I'll just talk about the main card. It starts off the night in the light heavyweight division. We have Anthony Smith versus Jim Crute. And Anthony Smith stepped in last minute to take this fight. He's an underdog in it at plus 165. Crute is the favorite at minus 195. Crute being 12-1 Smith is a finish or B finish kind of fighter. He goes for the knockout all the time. Where Crute, I think, is more well-rounded. I believe that Smith has only gone the distance 5 times in 50 professional fights. So my pick in this fight, this is the first card night to get things sort of start off on the pay-per-view side of things. I'm going with Crute in this fight, the favorite. I think that he's going to take it just he's going to be able to probably go the distance. I think he'll go the distance as well, if you guys want to make that bet. But that's my prediction in the first fight of the night. Next up, we got a middleweight belt. We have Uriah Hall versus the former champion Chris Weidman. And if you guys don't know who Chris Weidman is, he's the one that defeated Anderson Silva for the belt. Me and Ty actually were at that fight in Las Vegas. I was going for Silva, Ty going for Weidman. I was disappointed, obviously. And then the second fight, he comes back, and that was the time that Silva busted his leg in half. If you guys remember that.
Yeah.
So anyways, this fight's a close one. You got the odds are they're both at -110 right now. So it's basically a coin flip. Who do you think is going to win it? So let's look at the stats and stuff like that. We have Uriah Hall, who's 17 wins, 9 losses. We have Chris Weidman, who's 15 wins, 5 losses. He's the former champion. Like I said, he defeated Anderson Silva. Hall has won all 3 of his last 3 fights. Weidman is, I think he's won 2 of 3.
Yeah, Weidman has definitely been stumbling as of late
since he's been the champ.
After his little run there as champ, and Uriah Hall, I feel like he's been his career has been a disappointment after the start he got off to in the Ultimate Fighter with that crazy knockout.
He looked unstoppable actually in the beginning of his career, and he still looks like just a specimen of a human being. I don't think there's an ounce of fat on the guy.
It's just kind of weird how his career hasn't panned out. I mean, there's still time. He's still on the main cards of the big pay-per-views, which is good to see. And like you said, he's won 3 in a row. So
I would agree with you. My pick in this fight, I'm going with Uriah Hall. I think my personal opinion is that Weidman is done. So
really, you really think Weidman's done?
I think he's done.
Yeah, and he's been rocked a lot in his recent fights. He doesn't have that chin anymore.
That's just my picks.
I would agree with you there too. Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on. So now there's 3 title fights on this card. This is what I've been looking forward to for at least a month. We have 3 championship bouts. So the first of 3 is the women's flyweight title fight. That's Valentina Shevchenko versus Jessica Andrade. And Shevchenko being the major favorite in this fight at -400. You can bet on Jessica Andrade. She's +310. Shevchenko is just one of the most accomplished fighters in the UFC history in the women's division. She's undefeated in the flyweight division. She's had 3 losses. Her record is 20 wins, 3 losses. 2 of her losses come to Amanda Nunes in higher weight classes. Yeah. And Jessica Andrade is 21-8. So Andrade is a former strawweight champion. She's trying to join the list of the few fighters that have had 2 belts in 2 different weight classes. My pick in this fight, you got to go with Shevchenko. She's just been so dominating in this division. I can't see it changing with Andrade.
Totally
she's stepping up in weight to fight her too. Yeah.
I don't see it being a close fight at all, and the odds tell us that same story. So
I did not bet on this fight because of that. I just don't see it as appealing. I'll tell you guys afterwards the actual bets I did make. But I just picked winners. I didn't pick distance or anything like that.
Well, all you do is pick winners, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Shevchenko, I'll go with Shevchenko with the Eastern European name.
Do you think Shevchenko finishes the fight, or do you think he goes the distance?
I think he goes the distance myself, really? But we shall see.
I think she finishes it.
I think she finishes it too.
5-round title fight. Yeah, I think she gets it.
That's just but she's fighting. Andre was a champion too, so she's used to going 5 rounds. So that's why I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to put money on that one, so I'm just gonna stay away from it. Let's get into the co-main event of the evening. Is the strawweight championship of the world. We have Zhang Weili I'm not sure. The Chinese champion. She's the favorite at -190 versus Rose Namajunas at the former champion. She's a +160. We got Zhang, who's 21-1. When Zhang came out, her debut in MMA, she lost that fight. She has won 21 straight times since she's lost that first fight she came out. And she's up against Rose. And Rose is a former champion of the same weight division. Rose fought Joanna Jędrzejczyk and finished her, beat her, finished her, became the champ. Immediate rematch. They run it back, finishes her again with doesn't finish her, goes the distance. She wins the unanimous decision. I believe it was a unanimous decision. And she won the decision. So she's deemed the champion. And then we had Zhang that fought Joanna as well. Remember the hematoma she had on her forehead?
I do.
It was probably one of the greatest fights in UFC history. It's arguably that it could be. It was an amazing.
Yeah, definitely
fight.
top 5 fight, I would say.
Yeah. She won. I think it was a split decision. Could have been a unanimous decision, but it was a really, really good fight. But she didn't finish her. So my pick in this fight, I'm going with Rose.
Yeah, it's you get good odds. I like Rose. She's
it can go
a
either
super
way.
exciting fighter.
Yeah.
No, and exactly. It's a better bet,
fight.
especially if you want to throw it in there on a parlay with maybe who you're going to get into next, the favorite Usman. But yeah, how cool is it to have 2 women title fights on the same card here?
We've talked about it before. I find them to be more exciting than the boys. I mean, the
boys
sport that's evolving, and they get in there and they throw down and they leave it all in there. You'll see I follow Zhang on Instagram and stuff, and she's super into the Chinese meditation and stuff. And it must be helping her game.
So let's do West Coast Sport Junkies shot challenge here. Okay, so what do we got? Who's taking who? I got Shevchenko.
Funny how you always go right to the biggest favorite.
Shot, I got this. I got the major favorite. Sure.
And you always get first pick. Eh?
Okay, fine. I'll take Usman.
Okay, you take Usman. And Ty, who do you got?
So we're gonna go. Do we have to pick the title fights, or can we do anything on the main card?
Anything on the main card.
I'm gonna take Mike's pick there, Jim Crute.
How about this? I got a better bet. Okay, I just listed all my 5 picks on the main card. We all make the 5 picks. Best record wins.
Ooh, I like that.
No. I don't like that at all. I just say pick one fighter, and if they win, then everybody shoots, and we could all win, and we could all do shots.
Hang on. How about this, Chris? I'll give you a little information on the main event of the evening, okay? And then you'll have the rundown of who you think might win or who might not. The main event of the evening is welterweight for the welterweight championship is Kamaru Usman, current champion, versus Jorge Masvidal, the BMF title holder. And Usman comes in at a -420 favorite. Masvidal +330. They're running back this fight. Masvidal stepped in the last time they fought on 3 weeks notice. He took Usman the distance, so it went to a decision, but Usman completely dominated,
and he was gassed. Yeah, maybe that was a short notice too.
It dominated Masvidal. Masvidal kept chirping after the fight, saying, "If I had a full camp, I'll beat you. Guaranteed, I'm going to beat you." So Usman and a lot of fans too were a little bit disappointed in Usman for not finishing Masvidal, and allowing it to go the distance the way it did on a guy that just stepped in with on 3 weeks' notice on all that stuff. So he said, "Fine, let's run it back." So gave him a full camp. Here's Masvidal on a full camp. He's saying, guaranteed, he's going to knock this guy out. I mean, I don't know. I mean, to me personally, Usman's on another level than anyone in that division. He's sort of like GSP was back in the day.
I totally agree. He's so well-rounded.
Yeah. He's such a good wrestler that, and striker.
Yeah, he looks to me like he's got all the attributes, right? Like it's crazy.
So my prediction in this fight, this is the only one I'm calling. actually making a bet on is I'm taking Usman this fight. I'm taking Usman to finish the fight within 5 rounds. He's going to finish him somehow, some way, because I think he was embarrassed the last time he didn't do it, and now he's going to do it with a guy that's had a full training camp, and he's going to prove to the world he is the best.
So, what are the odds on that? Do you have that in front of you?
I don't have the odds of that in front of me. I haven't actually made.
So
I'll look that up. I was curious. I'll look it up.
Is that your shot bet then?
No, that's not. I'll take Usman to win as the shot bet. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. But in my heart, we've talked about this on the show before. In my heart, I want Masvidal to win. I want Masvidal to win this fight, become the champion. So he's the champion of the welterweight division. He's
so he can
also the BMF champion. And then we have Dodo Brain over there, Nate Diaz, fighting a really tough guy, and he's going to win that fight. And then we're going to have
set up
Masvidal Diaz 2 for the double belt, the baddest motherfucker on the planet, and the welterweight championship. And that's what I want to see as a fan. So, like I said, a lot of stars have to align for that to happen.
Fair enough.
So, Mike, I checked that out, and for Usman to win by a KO TKO is plus 250.
That's good odds, I think.
Yeah. Usman to win by a submission is plus 1,600.
Really?
Yeah.
1,600. He's a wrestler to begin with.
Maybe a small little wager might be placed on that.
Small little wager, yeah.
Those are good odds.
I think he's going to finish it.
Good odds.
I think like I watch this stuff all the time, and I saw the whole lead up to it. How embarrassed he was, and people like kept on asking, like, how can you let Masvidal, whose record is Masvidal's record's 35-14, Usman's record is 18-1. Go the distance with you, coming in on short notice. Like Masvidal has stepped up his game though in the last year or last 2 years. He's really stepped up his game, but he's not Usman level, not in my mind.
I would agree with you.
Yeah.
So what are we doing here? So Chris has Shevchenko.
Okay.
Yeah, Mike, you're taking Usman.
Yeah.
I will take Jim Crute, the first fight of the pay-per-view.
Yeah. And I'm staying away from a parlay on this one because last time I was really disappointed that my parlay got shut down immediately.
Right away. Yeah.
It was like a 2-minute knockout. Done. That's it. Mike, you're over with.
Yeah, I hit a good one last UFC, so I might do a small parlay and throw Rose in there at the plus 170 to boost the odds up a bit.
I like the Rose bet. I mean, that's where I'm going to go with it. Like Rose. Well,
I like her. I want to cheer for her too.
Yeah, she's a focused fighter. Like she's not scared of nothing. But so is Zhang. Zhang, she's ready to bang, man. See that fight against Joanna? That was insane.
Yeah, that was a brawl.
Yeah,
Zhang is ready to bang.
She is. Yeah. Well, talking about fighting, how bad is the state of boxing right now, guys? Did you watch the Askren versus the Jake Paul fight?
I saw the highlights. I'm actually glad that I didn't end up ordering it after seeing what happened.
Same. We were golfing. We were golfing.
You know what? When I watched that fight, I was like, "Ooh, the fix is in." Like that didn't look right. That's just nothing about that looked right.
It didn't look right, and Askren has taken a beating in the octagon and not been finished like that. No, obviously, he got finished with a knee early on. That's a lot different than a punch with the big boxing gloves on.
But did you see? Hold on. Did you see him at the weigh-in? Like I think
he didn't look like he kind of looked like he was there to get his $2 million. Didn't really take it seriously. I don't know if, like you said, the fix was in or not, but he didn't give a shit. He's like, let's get this over with. Let me collect my check and go party. Did you see him smiling walking back to the locker room?
I did. I noticed that. I did notice
which was weird. But I mean, yeah, I guess he's happy.
I watched the highlights of it. I'm glad I didn't order it.
But yeah.
I mean, I think it's a disgrace to boxing. Like boxing used to be the top of the food chain, and now you have this. It almost looks like it's WWE. I mean, the guy could be a good fighter. He might not be. I don't know. But you have like You know,
Well, let's get him.
Pete Davidson and Snoop Dogg announcing, smoking joints on stage and
It's
stuff.
a weird,
it's absolutely
weird presentation.
ridiculous.
They're catering to a different crowd, obviously.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah,
than going to a
boxing.
different target market.
Yeah, it's not what it was. It's not the Mike Tyson, Evander
No, not at
Holyfield,
all.
Lennox.
Even the
At
buzz
all.
around it, like there wasn't that kind of buzz, like you said, like a Tyson fight would have generated, you know,
Oh man.
in the arena. But even so back to the actual knockdown.
Yeah.
He got up quickly. I don't know if you guys saw the highlights. I know you did. So he gets up quickly. He looked fine, and he kind of does his weird little wobble and almost falls in to the ref at about
To
the
the
7
ref.
or 8 second of the 10 count in boxing, right?
Yeah.
Which just made it look like, okay,
It looked like a
Totally.
load of shit.
Totally.
Man. Like it totally looked like a load of shit. I wasn't impressed at all.
No, I felt embarrassed for not only for both those fighters, and I felt embarrassed for boxing. That's how I felt. And then you mentioned Evander Holyfield. So this is where boxing is at right now. Evander Holyfield, who I don't even know how old he is. Let's say he's close to 60. He's coming out of retirement. He announces this week, and he's going to fight Kevin McBride in a fight, sort of like how Tyson did. Like, this is where the sport has gone to. Like, they need. I don't know, man. I don't know what they need. But
I'm
they need
surprised
something.
these fights are getting sanctioned by the athletic commissions. Like it can't be safe for how old they are and the damage
Well,
their
here-
brains or bodies have taken over the course of their lives from boxing.
They don't have. Well, the boxing is on a downward spiral, and Evander Holyfield
Right.
fighting what's his name is the savior, right? Like
But
same
what I'm
with Mike
saying
Tyson.
is, yeah, the athletic commissions have
Savior.
to approve it, like for like safety wise, which I cannot believe they're continuing to do for these old time
Well,
fighters.
You know what though? The Tyson
Holyfield's
fight.
58.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You're gonna like
58.
the guy could die in there, no joke.
He could.
I mean, it could.
But the Tyson fight, I have thoroughly enjoyed. I thought it was great. Tyson,
It's just the
look at the
nostalgia.
shape
You
he's
like
in.
seeing him back in there too.
Yeah, I do like seeing him. Fuck, he was so good.
He was like
so
for
good.
our era. He was.
Oh,
I mean,
for-
he's the biggest star in the fight game right now. Even if you look at UFC fighters, if you bring Tyson back, I mean, Tyson's the draw.
He was the scariest motherfucker around when we were growing up. Like he was
Baddest man on the planet. Yeah.
But since we switched over to the new format, I picked up this beer a few weeks ago when I was in Kamloops, and I was in Kamloops as a essential worker, so don't hold it against me. But I picked up this beer, and it's called Iron Road Brewing. It is crafted and brewed in Kamloops, BC. So shout out to Iron Road Brewing, and it's called the Locomotive Lager. And that's the next one I'm going to get into. Now, before I take a sip of this, I just wanted to bring it into Mr. Mikey P. And what was the topic that you wanted to go over next?
Soccer, Super League.
Mhm.
But that's exactly what I want to talk about. Ty, I see something weird in your hand there. What you got?
Oh, this is what I was telling you guys about earlier. It's the new Crown Royal whiskey and cola in a can.
Oh, man.
Supporting a Canadian staple and another Ontario.
Can you drink
Located.
like multiple of those, or you only have like one or two kind of thing?
Well, you know what? We're gonna find out.
Or we are.
I had two golfing last weekend, and I could have had another, but I shared them with you guys. So
I guess that's your new golf drink, hey? Shooting
yeah, well,
78.
there's gonna be some beer involved as there was in that round too, but Crown's a nice change up.
So I noticed a trend here. So Mike, what do you got going there? Simple Things? What's that?
Yeah, I got one of my favorite beers I've mentioned on the show before. It's a Steel and Oak Pilsner, Simple Things. It's the white can. It's a great sipping beer. It's similar to it almost feels like a lager, but I love it.
So where's that located? Where's that? Is that
New Westminster. It's actually a stone throw away from Ty's place.
so New Westminster? So you got a New Westminster beer. I've got a Kamloops beer, and Ty has a Ontario Crown and Co. What?
You got it.
Oh man, So
Like I
Ty's the-
said, Crown is a Canadian staple. It's not
Oh.
an Ontario thing. It's a Thai thing.
is it just like Sleeman's?
No, that's an Ontario thing. I'll give you that one.
I like
Oh,
Siemens
man.
too.
I like Sleeman's too, but I don't tell my friends about it. Like it's one of those things I kind of keep to myself, you know. Yeah, the honey brown, but you know what? I gotta say the honey brown from East Van Brewing is a lot better than the Sleeman's honey brown. So,
Yeah,
Anyways.
it was really good.
It was
anyways,
good.
back to the Super League. So basically, a bunch of teams in the European soccer leagues, they decided to get together and establish a Super League, and they announced it, I believe, on Sunday, and by Tuesday it was dissolved. So,
What was it though?
well, it was some key teams,
Like the best of the best, right?
Well, they try to play it off that way, that it's the best teams and the
The
you
most
know,
money. They would have
most
the best
money,
players playing
Of
against
all
the
the big
best
leagues.
players
yeah.
all the
Right, so
time.
La Liga,
Yes, that's what
and
I wanna
Serie
see.
A, Premier League.
And you can go worldwide, right? They can pick up the South African players. They can pick up the Brazilian players to play in this league, kind of like the NFL and the NHL, right?
No, well, it's like, okay, it's a super, yeah, it's like any other soccer team. So they pick the best of the best. So that these are the best of the best teams, self-proclaimed best of the best teams. So you had Atletico Madrid, teams like Chelsea, teams like Manchester City. So you had a number of teams from the Premier League. You had a couple teams from the Serie A, which is the Italian league. You had Atletico Madrid, which was in the Spanish league. So you had real top-notch teams that were going to break off and create this Super League. Now, the Super League sounds like a great idea, but
Absolutely.
well, no, to you it does.
Yeah.
But to the
To me as well.
Most fans, it does.
But hold on.
Who doesn't want to see the best of the best play all the time?
But they're not the best of the best. You see, like to me, Juve is not the best of the best type of team.
You're talking about a team right now, but they're going to create. They're going to pull in the best players into these teams worldwide.
Yes. Now they were saying that there was a bunch of that UEFA would have
Some sanctions on them.
put some
right?
sanctions on them. So the players that played on those teams would not play for their World
National
Cup team,
teams.
their national teams, right? So they lose out on those national caps.
But why? What's the problem?
Well, the problem is that the way the format is right now.
They want to keep it shitty, so no one knows what the
It's
hell
not
going on in
shitty.
soccer.
There'd be no more relegation.
It's
There'd be
so
no-
shitty.
Yeah, in
Soccer
that-
is just like boxing, like I was saying. You have 100 different leagues, and you have good players scattered throughout all of them.
Okay, listen.
Let's
but-
get them all together and play all the time. I'll be
Yes,
intrigued. I'll be
yeah,
watching.
Yeah, for the
sure.
North American market, I believe that Super League would be a fantastic thing because it aligns with the NFL. Aligns
That's
with the
where the
NHL.
money is.
For
It
people like Mike
aligns
and
with
I.
the NBA. It aligns with the Major League Baseball. No teams get relegated. The teams are there. They're there every year. If they suck ass, they suck ass. They don't get relegated, and that's it.
In my
But-
mind, I see it being the largest sport in the world.
That's
If they
not
can
only in your mind.
Soccer already is.
Soccer
one of
already is the
biggest
biggest.
No,
ones.
but that
it's
one
not
league,
of the- hold on.
NFL is right now. That one league
No, it's not.
would be. Yes, it is.
Not even
Well, you think
close.
Serie A is bigger than fucking
No,
NFL?
soccer as a sport
Soccer as
is
a
the
sport.
biggest
Yeah. So what?
sport in
so
the
what?
world.
Doesn't matter. It's so what? Who
I
cares?
was talking about leagues.
I'm talking about a league. You
So-
get you get a
Chris-
Super League, all the best players playing all the time. When you have World Cup, that's when I tune in. When you have Euro Cup, that's when I tune
So
in. Well,
Champions
World Cup,
League,
'cause you have the
Champions
best of the
League
best.
is essentially like a Super League tournament.
It is,
correct?
yeah.
You get the best teams from each league. So I mean, from that standpoint, it's kind of weird. Like I get it, and that would be awesome, and I'd probably love it. But I mean, they have the Champions League, and you get the best of the best. That's where you see the best teams from each division come out, qualify, and you see those big constantly. Usually, there's a couple surprises here and there, but it's always the same big name teams that are in the semifinals and the finals Champions League.
Yeah, and with the Super League, it would always be the same teams, right? Where with the current format,
what do you think the NHL is?
Yeah, I
it's
get
the same
that.
32 teams or whatever.
I get that, and I would. It would make it more interesting if the Canucks are the worst team in the league, that they get relegated to the AHL. Wouldn't that be fucking awesome?
No, that would suck.
It would suck as a fan, but it would be it would be interesting to see that play out.
The stakes are so much higher that way, right?
No one knows. No one understands soccer over there in Europe. Stupid.
I will agree with
millions of Europeans understand, which make it such
lots of people are on board with this Super League thing, and UEFA and FIFA are the two organizations that crumbled it, and it's because they said that these teams aren't going to be allowed to play in the World Cup and the Euro Cup. And my honest opinion, if you have a Super League, you don't need the World Cup and Euro Cup anymore.
Well, you do.
Oh, you put it in, make it an Olympic sport.
The World Cup is and it is an Olympic sport, right? But the World Cup is the biggest sporting event in the world, right?
Yeah, but just keep it in.
Hold on, man. Let me fucking finish talking. It's the biggest sporting event in the world, and now I'm going to take a jab at Premier Horgan. So it's the biggest sporting event in the world. Premier Horgan was, oh yes, we're all about BC sports, and we're all about bringing sporting events into BC. And he said no to the World Cup, and now I have to go to Edmonton to watch a game. That's fine. Fucking bullshit.
That could have been right here.
Could have been right here, one of the most beautiful cities in the world. But hey, you know what, Premier Horgan, you're a lacrosse guy, I guess. You're a fucking moron. Oops, did I say that? Okay, whatever, NDP. Anyways, we could have had that in our own backyard, yet, biggest game in the world, biggest exposure in the world. What a blunder. What a
decision.
I will never forgive that guy for that. I don't care what it costs. It is the biggest sporting event in the world.
I agree.
Most eyes on is soccer. There's nothing bigger than soccer in the world. And
where I will agree with Mike about the Super League, like all these leagues, for Mike and I, who are casual soccer fans, I guess we love the World Cup. We like Euro Cup. I like Champions League.
I get MLS.
These division titles here. Right, Mike, to you don't mean anything. Like, oh, you're the Serie A champ. Like, cool. I mean, there's so many things to follow. There's so many leagues. It's different, but you can compare it to college football, which is huge in the States. For me, I would be more into it, but there's so many conferences. There's so many title games.
Yeah, exactly.
There's so many things going on. I watch when you get to the 4-team playoff. It's
always the same teams that are great.
But even then,
football,
right? And it's those divisions. It's always the same divisions that are in there. So I get that. And I think the Super League would be appealing to people like Mike and I.
I think it's going to happen one day. I think it's inevitable. And I think one of the biggest things is that you got a lot of American ownership on these European teams that own these European teams with lots of money, and they know how to get these sports going. And they see this, like you said, Chris, it's the biggest sport in the world. Yeah, it is. There's a problem though. There's a reason why it's not the biggest. They don't have the biggest leagues in the world, and that's because it's so confusing. It's so stupid how they do it. You have a Spanish league, an English Premier League, you have Serie A, you have a German league. Like, just have one major league. I mean, they should do it here. They should get the money over here. That could do it.
Well, we have the MLS, Major League Soccer, like what you just said.
Yeah, we don't have the money though. We don't have these teams don't have the Whitecaps don't have the cash to bring in a ton of these players.
And we usually get the superstars on their way out, like on the downward trend.
And they get paid a lot of money
careers.
to come here too. Those like Henry and those guys. I know. I think
Henry is a coach right now, but okay, let's say like Beckham.
He played in MLS.
Yeah, he did. He played for
Ibrahimovic.
New York Red Bull.
He still had a lot left in the tank when he came over. Actually,
Ibrahimovic came over. He's playing in AC Milan now.
Yeah,
and he's their top scorer. So
they made a mistake. Soccer made a mistake, and they're going to need to rectify it.
We shall see. We shall see what happens. However, I still do think that.
But why? I want to know why. Is it because FIFA and UEFA need to protect all these shit teams?
Hey, Mike. So think about this.
Big business.
No,
like
think about
No,
this.
it's shit teams that are-
No.
no,
Listen-
but still,
listen
the
to me.
followings of
Listen
these
to
smaller
me.
teams is huge all
I
over
put these
Europe.
games on every Saturday, Sunday morning here, and I can't tell you. Most of them, I can't tell you either one of the teams that are playing.
Listen to me. Every league to them, to the people that live there, every league that they play in, and when they win that trophy, that is comparable to the Stanley Cup for us. Every single one of these leagues. That's why these people don't want to let that go. What if someone said, "Hey, no, Stanley Cup's gone"?
No, wouldn't the
We're gonna
fucking
play for
Champions
the-
League trophy be more like the Stanley
So, but
Cup?
if you're
No.
a fan of, say,
No?
Chelsea,
No.
that's going to go into the Super League, like, wouldn't you be pumped that now we're going to go play the best of the best and we're going to be the best of the best? Like, that is the champion. That's the Stanley Cup. It's not this little participation trophy you get for being the best in Spain. Woohoo!
No. See, the Chelsea fans came out and protested this. They
Wow.
went to the stadium.
I saw fans all across the
They don't
Premier
like it
League
in Europe?
teams protesting.
Yeah, they were all protesting.
Arsenal, Manchester United, yeah, they're all up in arms about it.
I think it's nuts. I think that soccer should be the largest sport and should have the biggest league. But they
Listen,
don't.
it's only a matter of time. You have to be pretty intelligent to understand what happens with those leagues. So if you guys can't understand that, I mean, I'm sorry, but it's an
Oh yeah, well, explain it to me.
I disagree with you saying their league trophy is like their Stanley Cup.
It is. It is,
No,
Ty.
the champions,
That's like their division
the
win.
Champions
That's like the
League-
Canucks winning the
Champions Trophy.
Pacific Division.
No, man.
When you say, Mike?
The Champions League's like winning the Stanley Cup.
Yes, I
That's what I'm
agree with that.
No. It's
This guy is not intelligent.
their own it's their own league that's winning that's like winning the Stanley Cup. The Champions League is like winning the World Cup, and the World Cup is above and beyond anything that we can comprehend as hockey, football.
Yeah, so you just
See,
said
this-
Champions
see,
League's like winning the
see,
World Cup,
Ty,
so it'd be higher.
Ty, let
higher
me
up.
talk to you for a second. I want Chris to mute himself. You see what he just said? All that crapola there is exactly the problem with soccer. You have this league and that league and that league, and then you get to this, blah blah blah. No, that's why I only watch the World Cup. That's why it's the only time soccer is exciting to watch. That's when you have the best playing the best. Super League would have the best playing the best all the time. That's what the fans want to see. That's what the fans deserve. Not this crap.
Well, you know what? It could happen down the road. And like you said, Mike, there's a lot more American money and ownership in these big European teams. And it could get to that point where the Super League could happen.
I hope it does.
I like it when you talk dirty, when you talk
Dirty time. All right. Well, since we're back recording, just wanted to mention we are now on YouTube, and you can find all our episodes on YouTube. Bloopers to come as well. It is time for the Dirty Talk with Dirty Dan in Dirty East Van. Yet, you know what? This week we're gonna do a little different. So, yesterday was Dirty Dan's birthday. So today we're gonna honor Dirty Dan with Dirty Talk with a dirty shot. Dirty time. So boys, we'll have to pour up a shot here for Dirty Dan and his dirty birthday. Dirty time.
Happy birthday, Dan.
Yeah, I got Old Faithful here. Happy birthday, Dan. I got Old Faithful here.
Thank you very much.
Orachovat.
How old are you now, Dan?
I'm almost 1 year. I'm 1 year shy of your favorite lucky Sean Alexander number, 37. I'm 36.
Oh yeah, 36. That was a good year. Good year.
So, that is the year I'm currently in. Up until July. It was a good year. It was a good year. I had a lot of success this year.
Does it feel like the year just keeps on dragging on and on and on?
Yeah, haven't really gone anywhere, but good year.
Well, it's interesting. After 35 years, I have realized that, hangovers during COVID are not much different than during normal times. So they're still real.
dirty hangovers.
Yeah, you sound a little rough.
You look. You know what? I took some screenshots. I'll put it on Instagram. You look pretty rough. I gotta say. You don't look like your dirty Dan self. You know.
You look like you aged a year. Let's put it that way.
You guys got your shots poured?
Yeah, I got my proper 12.
School night Paquito.
School night. Oh God, is this like a fifth of a shot here that you're gonna do now? Paquito.
I did a lot of regular ones yesterday.
Yesterday is not today, and today is the podcast. So you do a regular shot, please.
It's poured up.
Uncle Mike, what do you got there?
I got a shot of Kraken because I'm excited for the Seattle Kraken.
And you always wanted somebody to fill your Kraken. So, all right. Uncle Dan, what do you got?
I got no more Jameson. That was gone yesterday. So I am having Stoli vodka.
Stoli.
All right, cheers, boys.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers. Thank you.
Happy birthday. Always always a great shot. Oh.
Now, Dan, before we get into the dirty talk,
Dirty time.
what are you chasing that shot with tonight? What are you sipping on?
Well, you know what, guys? I was really, really practicing all week, pouring drinks with ice in them.
What?
I know, right? But then, Tyler, you brought me these amazing, actually. I'm not much of a beer drinker. You guys know that. But I have a rookie card Vienna Lager. And limited series. So it is going down smoothly from Studio Brewing.
Do you have do you feel the decoction in your mouth or?
Yep.
Yeah, that's I really enjoyed that beer.
Yeah, how's it going?
Yeah, it's a smooth one.
Do you find it has a little bit of a chocolatey taste too, or is it just me? All these craft beers we've been having the last couple of weeks.
No, I don't really taste. To tell you the truth, right now, it still has a little bit of the vodka taste from the shot I just had. So I'll let you know maybe in like 5 minutes once that taste is gone.
The chocolatey decoction. Okay, so I don't know. We'll have to put in a vote at the end of the episode here on what was better, this or the East Van Honey Brown Ale, but we'll get there. So, Dirty Dan, why don't you get us into your dirty segment, Dirty Talk?
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Dirty Talk with Dan Nandez, live on the West Coast Sports Junkies podcast. I hope everyone's having a great week. We've had some amazing weather. Hope you've had some time to get out there and enjoy it. The rain's already going to be coming soon. But I want to start off, before we get into our first topic, I want to issue an apology. Now, I know that sounds odd. No, that's a little bit shocking. I know. I would like to apologize to Aaron Donald. Last week on my podcast, I mentioned you guys on the Dirty Talk. Aaron Donald attacked, abused someone in Pittsburgh. Finally, it's been cleared. The video evidence is there. He was literally being a gentleman. He was protecting the person, trying to get people off of him. The video image is there. The person has come out. He's apologized himself. So I would also like to apologize to Aaron Donald. I'd also like to apologize, actually, to all the Seahawks fans who thought that he would be gone and Russ wouldn't have been running with his head like a head with a chicken cut off. Or shall I say, chicken with his head cut off. You know what I mean? Because he would have been turned inside out by Aaron Donald. And sorry, Mike. Sorry, Ty. Seahawks fans, Aaron Donald going to be chasing Russ all over the field next year. Good luck. Let's go Rams. Let's keep it going with the Seahawks, and one of their, probably, fixing a hole, a defensive player takes a chance with Aldon Smith. 1 year, signed from Dallas, had some, previous issues, previous off the field issues. Let's try new scenery. Let's give him a second chance. And already we're getting battery charges, off the field issues, and he's now been released by the Seahawks. So, you know what? Seems to be a trend. Thank God, going back to Aaron Donald, we did have some good news come out where, he was proven that there are some good guys out there just trying to do what's right, but still seems to be an issue in the NFL. And you know what? Let's just hope that the Seahawks can continue to maybe find some guys that don't break the law and are going to be able to help Russ and the team for next year. That's it, ladies and gentlemen, this week for the Dirty Talk. Hope you have an amazing week. Enjoy the weather. NFL draft coming up soon. As always, stay dirty.
And that's the Dirty Talk. There he is, Mr. Hernandez, ahead with his chicken cut off.
You like that?
Sorry, man.
I'm gonna be trending. I want to start a new trend, right?
Oh, I was dying.
Between that and pissing off the Seahawk fans.
Yeah,
Ty,
Ty. Before
no.
we start talking about this guy's comments, is it true that Aldon Smith has been released by the Seahawks?
No, that's going to have to be a big correction here.
Exactly.
He has not been released.
Well,
And as a
let me
matter of
tell
fact,
you,
I hope that
he
you're
should be
reporting.
released.
Your reporting on Aaron Donald is similar to your reporting on Aldon Smith. Because this is
So
ridiculous.
the Seahawks released a statement. Obviously, they're aware of the situation, monitoring it, and they have no further comment at this time. And of course, as you just learned with Aaron Donald, he is assumed innocent until proven guilty.
Well, that's our episode for tonight. Hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, follow us, give us a rating, like us. Be sure to also follow us on Twitter at West Coast Sport 9. Don't forget to subscribe to our show on podcasting platforms such as Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Reach out to us by email at westcoastsportsjunkies@gmail.com. We are also now on Instagram at west_coast_sports_junkies. Follow us there. Thanks for listening. Join us for the next episode. Goodbye.
Get out.
Guilty by association.
We can edit that out.
Are you gonna be able to edit my butt chicken head thing as well?
No, that's a good statement.
No.
That's staying in there.